The illusion of money. For most of human history, people have confused money with meaning. We built temples around it, systems to protect it, and identities from its absence. But money has never been real power, only the reflection of power. It is a mirror, not a flame. We think we chase wealth, but what we truly chase is security. Money feels like certainty in a chaotic world, but that feeling fades quickly, replaced by a deeper hunger for more. That's how people stay trapped in cycles of chasing symbols while starving for substance. Bill Gates once said, "If you're born poor, it's not your mistake, but if you die poor, it's your mistake." He didn't mean to glorify greed, he meant the poverty of potential. To remain mentally poor while opportunity surrounds you is a tragedy of perspective, not circumstance. Money obeys clarity and punishes confusion. It doesn't flow to the hardest worker. It flows to the most certain thinker. And that certainty is built through education, pattern recognition, and courage under pressure. Warren Buffett said, "The best investment you can make is in yourself." Every asset you buy can vanish, but your ability to adapt compounds forever. Skills, communication, reputation, and emotional control, these are the real dividends of growth. Money, by nature, is neutral. It doesn't change who you are. It only magnifies what's already there. Give it to fear, and it multiplies insecurity. Give it to vision, and it multiplies possibility. Elon Musk said, "You get paid in proportion to the difficulty of problems you solve." That is the secret formula of the modern world. Money follows impact, not effort, not hours, not noise. The more valuable the problem you solve, the more inevitable wealth becomes. To be rich is to collect. To be wealthy is to construct. The rich gather possessions. The wealthy build structures, businesses, systems, habits that keep paying them long after they stop moving. Real freedom begins when you stop asking, "How can I earn more?" and start asking, "How can I design better?" Because design, not desire, shapes destiny. The trap of earning. Modern society glorifies the grind. Work harder, sleep less, hustle always. But constant effort is not evolution. It's elegant exhaustion. Most people confuse busyness with progress. They move fast because standing still forces them to think. Jeff Bezos said, "If you never want to be criticized, don't do anything new." The path to wealth requires innovation, and innovation demands solitude. You cannot lead while fearing judgment. The crowd doesn't reward originality until it succeeds. The trap of earning is psychological. When you define your worth by productivity, rest feels like guilt, and silence feels like failure. You sell time, the one resource that cannot be refunded, and when you're addicted to earning, you forget to build. Ray Dalio said, "Pain plus reflection equals progress." That equation explains every fortune ever made. The poor experience pain and react. The wealthy experience pain, reflect, and adapt. Reflection transforms failure into data, and data compounds into wisdom. The difference between income and wealth is architecture. Income buys comfort. Wealth builds continuity. The employee works for safety. The entrepreneur builds for structure. And the investor designs leverage that multiplies both. Leverage is the secret word the world hides behind luck. It's how one idea can replace 10 years of labor. It's how one connection can do more than 1 decade of persistence. The goal is not to work harder, it's to work through systems. Most people are stuck because they trade what is scarce time for what is infinite money. The wealthy reverse it. They build infinite systems that free their time. Every business, algorithm, or brand is a machine for reclaiming hours. The lesson is simple. If your income stops when you stop working, you don't own wealth. Wealth owns you. The philosophy of wealth. Wealth is not luck refined. It's structure understood. It begins when awareness meets action. Money follows attention, and attention follows conviction. That's why the richest people in the world seem calm. They don't chase, they design. Steve Jobs said, "The only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. Great work is not intensity, it's integrity. It's effort aligned with belief, focus aligned with purpose. When your work becomes your reflection, you stop chasing money because money starts chasing meaning." Wealth has three pillars: ownership, leverage, and detachment. Ownership means control over your direction. Leverage means multiplying your effort. Detachment means patience in uncertainty. Bill Gates once warned, "Success is a lousy teacher." It seduces smart people into thinking they can't lose. The wealthiest minds treat success like a temporary visitor. They respect it but never depend on it. They understand that failure, not success, keeps systems alive. Warren Buffett said, "It takes 20 years to build a reputation and 5 minutes to ruin it." Reputation is the invisible compounder. It earns when you sleep, protects when you stumble, and opens doors no money could buy. Wealth creation is 80% psychology, 20% mechanics. The market rewards emotional endurance more than intelligence, because patience, when combined with preparation, becomes a form of genius. Money magnifies truth. If you're lost, it amplifies confusion. If you're grounded, it amplifies peace. That's why real wealth begins internally. The world cannot pay you more than your self-belief allows. Every wealthy person you admire once made a terrifying decision: to stop renting their security from others and start manufacturing it from themselves. Freedom and legacy. At the summit of success, the noise fades. What remains is clarity, the awareness that freedom, not fortune, was the pursuit all along. Freedom is not leisure, it is authority over your own attention. It is the power to decide what deserves your time and the discipline to deny what doesn't. Oprah Winfrey said, "True success is when you're able to use your gifts to serve others. Service is wealth purified. When your prosperity feeds others, abundance becomes infinite." Naval Ravikant said, "You will never get rich renting out your time. You must own equity to gain freedom." Equity is ownership of something that lives when you sleep: ideas, systems, relationships, or intellectual property. Without ownership, every paycheck is a polite leash. Ray Dalio said, "He who lives by principles outlives the cycles. Trends collapse, but principles endure. The wealthy think in decades, not days. They act like architects, not gamblers." Elon Musk said, "When something is important enough, you do it even if the odds are not in your favor." Conviction is the energy that bends probability. The world changes not through logic, but through obsession disciplined by structure. Steve Jobs said, "Remembering that you are going to die is the best way to avoid the trap of thinking you have something to lose." Mortality makes clarity urgent. It reminds us that legacy, not luxury, is the real scoreboard of success. Legacy is not what you leave behind. It's what continues because of you. It's not carved in stone. It's embedded in systems, minds, and lives you've touched. The wealthiest people die twice, once physically and once when their influence stops. Build things that make that second death impossible. Freedom matures into peace. The highest wealth is the absence of need. Money buys comfort. Wealth buys time. Wisdom buys forever. You are not wealthy when you have everything. You are wealthy when nothing owns you.